make me go crazy. Life lately, but no, can't fake, no. Gotta mold this clay, let go. Can't fake, no. Gotta mold this clay, let go. Wiggle, what I saw, what you see? I saw win, not a draw. That's the lead with the family up to.
On this episode of Molding the Clay podcast, join us in the conversation of healing in the quiet. Now let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Molding the Clay podcast, where we talk about everything relationships, y'all. And we are back for another fabulous episode.
Yes, we are. Have
we
y'all been
gone for a minute?
We have. We know we got to take our little breaks in between to make sure we got the best guests to bring y'all the realest conversations.
Yeah.
Y'all.
And today I feel like we have a good one for y'all today. Like just peace and serenity and love and all of that in between. Like it's giving today.
This has been long overdue, but we finally got her in the building, y'all.
Yes. So let me go ahead and give this good old introduction for her today. So in this premiere episode, we're diving into the parts of the journey that don't always make the highlight reel. The stillness, the sacred pauses, and the unseen work of becoming. Today is about opening up, about betrayal, burnout, and building again from scratch. From too dope to bully to broken, healed shit to Jersey Moulin home, every part of this path has shaped her. This episode explores what it means to create from a place of wholeness, protect your peace, and redefine what impact really looks like. Molders, please welcome author, owner of Touched Apparel, curator of Too Dope to Bully, and a creative director, Jersey Moulin.
That was all me. That's all you.
Girl, I sound like I might be doing something.
You is. You're doing a lot of something.
You are.
I'm trying.
We see you out here in these streets, girl.
You
And
making
you
a lot of
doing
good
some amazing
noise.
things.
Thank you.
You making a lot of good noise.
Yeah.
I
we
feel
are.
like I've been quiet for a while, though.
No, we see you. We see
No,
you.
we see you.
We see you.
Well, thank you.
We
Yeah,
see
I
the
feel
work
like-
being done.
I feel like I've been really quiet.
Yeah.
At least the past 2 years. I've been like,
But you've been on your healing journey.
Yeah.
You've been on your healing journey.
And I feel like you've taken us on that journey with you, though.
Absolutely.
Because it's quiet and it's peaceful, but it's still loud.
it's ugly.
Yeah.
And that's the part people don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
It's very ugly.
Well, let's talk about it. So I
You saw
want us to
my
tell-
deep breath? You saw that eyebrow go up? I was
But
like,
look though, sometimes it gotta get ugly so it can get pretty.
yeah, it's so... We like to say it's pretty ugly, but there's beauty in the becoming,
Right.
You know, and healing isn't linear. So when you look at that, it's constant. Even when you are making the decision to be happy and live your best life, you're choosing that because it's so easy to just be like depressed. It's so easy to let the world and things swallow you whole and to treat people like you don't care because it's like, I don't care because I'm going through this, so why should I care about you?
Right,
You know, and
right.
it's like, that's not really the way, you know.
Yeah.
What helps you maintain your heart posture is keeping a good heart, being good to people. If you can't show up financially, you show up in servitude. And if you just don't have it, you use your words and say, I'm just not able to today.
Yeah. Yep.
I send you love, but I can't today.
Yep.
You know?
You know what? That's one thing that I have to teach my wife. I try to teach her that all the time because it's so hard for her to say no or I can't. And I'm like, but you're so burnt out and it's okay
You got to draw boundaries.
to say that. Because I'm going to say it in a minute.
That's interesting that you brought that up. I just was having that conversation with my mom and my brother yesterday. And it's more so my brother of him drawing his boundaries because he's such a good guy. And it's like, if you need something, he's there. If you need him to fix it, he's going to come fix it. If you need him to do it, he's going to do it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
That's me all day. I'm learning to say no. Like I feel like now I have gotten better with being like I ain't got the capacity for it today. You know what I mean?
But why do you think you do it?
I don't know.
Because she don't know how to. I just feel like she's just been that way all her life.
I have, and I'm trying to break myself.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Who didn't show up for you?
I was just getting ready to say that. I was just getting ready to say
Because that's
what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, who didn't show up
Like
for you?
if somebody
who
didn't show
protect you?
I feel like I was always protected because I'm the youngest out of 8. So I feel like I was always protected. I had a very good upbringing.
Good.
You know what I mean? And I just
Who didn't show up for you?
There has been people that has not showed up for her.
yeah.
Yeah, there has been.
And
But
do you
she
make
would
it okay?
continue.
And you make it okay?
I'm just like it. I'm like it's cool. You know what I mean? Like
My brother's like that.
I'm like it's cool. It is what it is. You know, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying?
You do.
So, me too. Hell no. Can I curse?
Yeah.
Oh, look. Can I? Hell no. Habitual people pleaser. At the
Therapist told me that.
expense of yourself. And I'm saying this from experience, right? Habitual people pleaser, right? And even in doing the work to cut that tie, it hurts and it's uncomfortable, right? So to know that you have such a good heart and you want to without expectation, and you want to without wanting that same person to give you something in return, right? It's like, I did this because I wanted to.
Facts.
Not because I need you to, because I think ultimately when you have a good heart, you look at it like, we all should know what it feels like for someone to be there for you.
Yeah.
Even if it's a stranger. And a lot of times your blessings return through people who
You don't even know.
don't know.
And I can't say that though. That's the blessing in it because I don't do it for a reward or to have anything in
So you're
return.
fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
So my blessings always
You're
show
fine.
up
Yeah.
in different forms. Like I'll be like, dang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Every
God
time
just-
it never fails.
It never
But
fails.
sometimes I just want you to say no.
I'm working on it.
Why you wanted to say no?
Because I feel like she gives so much to people that's undeserving of it.
But guess what? I don't know. Y'all believe in God?
Absolutely.
All right. So think about it. No matter how far we go, we cannot pray for 30, 60, 70, 80 days, right? But there's still a sense of faith that beams and you're like, I know God is still there, right? How dare you? How dare you not give him time? Or, and excuse me for saying him, but how dare you not give Source time and think that you're still deserving? And if we are made in the image of Source, who are we to say that someone is not deserving of something?
Yeah.
Because if you already know you're doing it because you want to, from where your blessings flow is not always where you bless.
That's it right there. That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's how I look at that, because I've had people say the same thing, like, well, everybody doesn't deserve it, and it actually makes me uncomfortable. I've learned a lot about myself in the past 2 years. It makes me uncomfortable. And it makes me uncomfortable because I know when I'm pissed off. I know when I'm annoyed. I know when I'm mad. I know when I'm like, yo, fuck you. Right? And my fuck you comes with a, like, you're gonna feel my absence. I don't have to say anything, and I'm not causing a scene, and I'm not being disruptive. I'm not anything. I'm not blasting you. Yeah, I'm not blasting you out on social media. I'm not doing any of the things. So that means I leave myself wide open to be perceived. It's not that no one hasn't wronged me. It's not that I haven't been taken advantage of. It's not that I haven't had turbulence in relationships, right? I just choose to turn to God.
Yeah.
That's me all day.
that's
And my
her all
wife,
day.
she a firecracker. And so when she see how
I'm a Taurus.
so when she see how I handle people, she just be like, baby, I don't know how you give people such great, because I will just like not talk to you no more.
Yeah.
I'm like, my absence, because my presence is a gift.
When you know what
Yeah.
you bring is like,
Yeah.
you know, and when you're
But I'm
looking for
learning.
nothing in return,
I'm learning that. I think I've gotten better over the years.
You have gotten better.
Because I'm a reactor. I react.
And see how things very rarely upset me.
And what's your sign?
I'm a Libra. So I'm laid back, chill. Things very rarely
That's my
upset
moon.
me.
Libra
Yeah.
is my moon. I know that's my balance because I'm a Scorpio.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just feel like I've learned to give people grace now, though. Regardless of what they do to me, how they make me feel, how they treat me. But I still always want to make sure that I treat people how I want to be treated,
Absolutely.
regardless.
But what happens when they don't treat you the way you want to be treated?
I'm easily so quick to be like, fuck it and walk away. But my wife is always like, well, baby, I don't think you should just do it this way. Well, maybe you need to have a conversation. But I'm like, but you can walk away and not say nothing. Why I can't do the same thing?
It's so many levels to the walking away, right? And I think social media has like hit all sides of it in a sense, right? You see people that be like, when you see it the first time, keep it moving.
Yeah.
But if you value a relationship and if you have the emotional maturity, if you have the emotional intelligence, and if you have the vocabulary to
Have a conversation.
Yeah.
then both parties should be able to navigate it. Now, that's when transparency and vulnerability come into play, where you should be able to navigate it respectfully. So when you are able to tell a person how much you honor them and respect them, and hey, you hurt my feelings, and I realized too. And I'm going to say, like, the healing for me, this stage of healing, so it's totally different from, like, the first two books that I released, Old Darling Tea, For the Living Lady and You, and Broken Hill Shit. Totally different from that. In hindsight of, I knew it in theory. Right? I knew it in theory. I was mentoring a few women, all the things. And then I started going through things that the theory was being put to the test. I was like, oh, wow, wait, what's this? How is this happening? But those things taught me how I was a people pleaser, right? And so it's amazing to have it's beautiful to have an amazing heart, right? But ultimately, if I value you, I'm going to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
And I should be able to say, you hurt my feelings. And society doesn't teach that.
They do not.
Right.
Society doesn't teach you how to say, you hurt my feelings. I did not like when you said this thing. Society says, get mad.
Yep.
Our conversations fall out.
Tell a motherfucker how you feel.
Yep.
Because what we not gonna do, like, that's what we're accustomed to, right? We're accustomed to, especially, for us and our community, and I say that within the LGBTQIA community plus, and the Black community, right? We don't really know to a certain extent what conflict resolution looks like.
Correct.
Therapy has been so big over maybe the past 7-8 years. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And then, of course, if you're scrolling on social media, you see so many posts that can just realign your day. You could be having a bad day. And it's like, don't get me wrong, because, Big Brother's listening. So it's like they put everything in the airway for you, and something can just change your mood when you see it, right?
Yeah.
But society doesn't teach us that.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't teach us how to say, like, it do teach us how to say, bitch, you got me fucked up.
That part.
Those are fighting words, though.
It is.
You're right. So if you say that to a person, like, bitch, you got me fucked up, now we want to fight. And she got you fucked up.
Yeah.
But that's not going to resolve anything, right? Now, don't get me wrong. You got some people who that's their verbiage and they can navigate that. Me, in hindsight, like, I had friends that I got like 3 best friends I could talk to like that.
Yeah.
But you're talking about, we've been friends since we was like 15, 16, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they really know my heart. So I can be my rawest. But when people don't, and let's just take relationships or new friendships. It's hard getting friends when you're older, making friends when you're older.
Nowadays it is. Yes.
It's hard because you're learning a person. So, yeah, listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
It's-
It's
People don't know how to have hard conversations.
no.
at all.
It doesn't always have to be a back and forth or
Right,
beat
a
down.
battle.
Like you have to learn how to use your words and take accountability and be able to say, hey, I'm vulnerable in this area because this is what you did to me, and be able to
Absolutely.
accept it.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And move past that, because I'm big on hard conversations these days with my friends, with my wife, with my kids, with anybody. I'm all for these hard conversations because I don't want a yes man friend. Like, I need you to
Absolutely.
tell me when I'm
You want
wrong.
somebody, absolutely. You want somebody that's gonna let you know that, like,
Get your shit together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and have accountability for where I went wrong, because I learned that too.
yeah.
Taking accountability.
That's a big one. That's a big one. So y'all,
You got a Taurus over here.
yeah, I do. I think we the perfect balance though, because she's 0 to 100 real quick, and I'm always like, okay, baby,
Yeah.
quiet,
So chill.
Yeah, just
I'm
chill.
like, no, don't be chill today.
Did she make you think though, like when you're getting ready to like go off and you look at her, you be like, let me
mad
think
as
about
shit.
this.
Like, how can you be like? How can I just go off? Like, I wonder if she think like, how can I just go off on her?
That's what I be thinking. I be
do
thinking
you
like,
not give a
are
shit?
you
Like,
thinking? She's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I don't
Yeah.
care because they got me fucked up.
all the way, all the way. So y'all, today we talking about healing in the quiet when purpose looks like stillness. So, what's something stillness revealed to you that you couldn't hear in the noise?
One of the things that I just said, a people pleaser, habitual people pleaser.
Okay.
The other thing was that, and this is probably going to sound so crazy, and this is my first time saying it out loud. I'm really the shit,
Absolutely.
but I don't.
as you are.
But
Absolutely.
I don't. That never sits. I don't lead with that. You understand? So stillness taught me that. Stillness taught me that because I was able to take inventory over my life, the things that I've done. And you said, like, I've kind of taken y'all on a ride. And I do know that, like, I'm always very, like, tastefully loud about things that I go
Right.
through. But it's very authentic. It's very raw.
Yeah.
And the only difference now is that I'm not curating my authenticity. And I got wrapped up in that. Like, when I released Broken Hill shit,
Which I love, by the way.
thank you. It's still available on YouTube. Because it's down on all other platforms, but you can still stream it on YouTube.
Make sure y'all go check it out.
Broken Hill shit. You could just type Jersey Moulin and it'll pop up. But what was I saying? Brain freeze. But yes. I don't lead with that. I didn't know that. And, you know, navigating the quiet and taking inventory, I was just like, before healing was popular, I was doing this, right? So it helped me to understand my purpose. And when I released Broken Hill shit, that was when, like, curating became like big. So I was like, okay, let me do this. And I didn't like it. I hated it on every level. But I was like, this is what I gotta do. And then I was like, listen, wherever God wants me, I'm gonna be.
There you go.
Whatever forefront I'm supposed to be at, I'm gonna be. Right. I get it, you know, to get the numbers, to get the things, but it started feeling too inauthentic to me. And then I started navigating some other things, and I was just like, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
It may look like it's all over the place, but I don't care.
You getting yourself
Because I want to do what I want to do the way that I do
Freedom.
it. Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it's crazy because I do branding and marketing for people. So, of course, I got to tell them, like, you got to stay consistent. But, and it's true, you do. And I've had clients go from 6,000 to 26, 27,000 followers. So, yeah, you do have to stay
awesome.
consistent for the people who want that.
Right.
If it comes from me, it's going to come organically. I'm not pressed, and the stillness really showed me that because I started feeling like I was losing myself. And I was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck enough to get so wrapped into all of that.
Yeah.
So
Was when you found out, or when you came to the realization that you were a people pleaser. What was that like for you in that moment, that aha moment? You was like, damn, I really am a people pleaser.
I be cursing myself out.
Sometimes you got to.
Listen, as namaste and kind as I am, I be going off. and my partner is like, if I say certain things, she be like, you don't even talk like that. I'm like, you're obviously still getting to know me. Because everybody in my life knows that I talk like this. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, my friends know, like, I will curse you straight out. Stop playing with me, right?
Where you from?
Jersey.
Jersey, okay.
I'm from Jersey.
Okay.
But I went off on myself. Like, it's as if I was like going off, you know, and I needed to, because this is what I respect about healing, is that when it's ugly, you don't have to be, let me light a candle, let me burn some sage, no. I'm in the bathroom, I'm crying, I'm screaming, I'm going off. I'm telling myself I know better. You know what I mean? Like, I'm taking myself through all the motions. And I do that because I don't want it to be pent up. And when you don't express things, it pours out in different ways.
There you go.
Yeah.
It'll transmute into something else. And so, you know, learning to practice mindfulness when I'm saying no, you know, has been.
Do you feel like it's power in your no?
Absolutely.
I got to get to that point.
Absolutely.
I got to get to that.
I know it is, because I'm such a willing individual. You know, like, I'll give you an ideal before you ask for it. You can tell me your ideal and I'll give you 6 more things to add value to what you just told me. You know what I mean? Without, and I'm
right.
And I probably forget that and the thing is, 10 times out of 10, I always forget. And then I'll be sitting around and I'll see like your social, I'll be like, oh, I did tell you. That's what's up. And I'll comment like, yo, I see you killing it. Do you know what I mean?
Dope.
So but I honestly had to learn to like stop, because you teach people to expect that from you, and it devalues you. And so instead of people asking for your help, and I charge for certain things too, right?
That's
but
true.
I mean, if we just kick on some kickback stuff, and I'll be like, yo, this, and you should be able to collab with like-minded individuals. But I just had to learn how to be like, nah, I can't, because and actually I don't even say I can't. Somebody will say something to me now and I'll just be like, okay, well, what do you think?
Yeah.
How do you think you want it to look? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm learning, like, I'm just giving so much.
Yep.
And then if I tell you, okay, well, hey, here's my price, you go silent. So you really wasn't even for me,
Right.
to begin with, you know? And so that was a hard pill to swallow.
Absolutely. I can understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How can you share a moment when being still taught you more than being busy ever could?
Yes. The past 2 years. So I'm going to give a brief rundown of what has happened in the past 2 years. I'm the owner and curator of the very first Black History Expo of Minneapolis. It's called I Am My Ancestors' Wildest Dream Expo.
Yeah.
There were some things that transpired that we're still navigating currently. And I have not worked in 2 years.
That's a blessing.
No. Let's talk about it. It is a blessing, and that's what the stillness taught me, right? And it's crazy how this is coming. I just love the way God works, I'm going to tell you. But it is a blessing because of what I was able to see. But I didn't see it as a blessing when it happened, because that expo should have catapulted my career. Right?
Yeah.
It should have catapulted my career. We booked heavy hit. I booked heavy. I'm the owner and curator. I booked heavy hitters for this expo, and there was some racist things that went on behind the scenes. I hired some people that, just being a good person, right? When you have $12,000 stolen from you,
Damn.
when you pay someone over a certain amount. I'm not going to say the amount to do a job and it doesn't get done, right? And then, of course, when you have a government entity bulldozing you because of what they did, and then they still owe you money, and you're not talking small amounts, right? It took me down a path with myself that I didn't even know existed. And that's how I learned how much of a people pleaser I was, because I had everything snatched from me. And I did nothing wrong, right? So then you think like, and sometimes the soft lessons don't work. Sometimes you need the hard, because all my lessons throughout life have always kind of been and I'd be like, oh, okay, I hear you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this one was like, sit down. That's literally what happened. And I was just like, wow. And so I went through depression, like chronic depression.
I'm sure.
Where I felt like I was doing stuff, but I wasn't doing anything. But I knew I wasn't okay because like my mom and my best friend, she's a clinical therapist, they would just call me. And sometimes they would just call me and just sit on the phone in silence with me. Or my mom would just call me and pray over me. You know? And my mom was worried about me. And my daughter, everybody was worried because they know me. And I gained, and it wasn't even that I gained a lot of weight from food. The trauma was so deep from this that in every picture I took, when I look at myself during that time, I look swollen because trauma sits. It forms fluid in your body. So I look swollen. I look like somebody auntie that had gout. You know what I'm saying? Like I look crazy. For real, I did. And I just never imagined. And so I had to, after I stopped fighting the why me? I didn't deserve this. So after I stopped fighting that and I started to recalibrate, you know, it showed me like, why not you?
That's true.
That was supposed to catapult my career, but that was the preparation for what God said is next. And so let me show you this here, because when you get here, I need you to be mindful and watchful of these people, these places, and these things. So hey, you need to make sure you have a lawyer on speed dial. Make sure you have a financial advisor on speed dial. You understand? Make sure you have an assistant you can trust, that you have paperwork between you, right? These are things I had to learn. So I'm moving in good faith. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but I was getting got at every turn. I was being done wrong at every turn, you know? And it's hard when people smiling in your face and doing grimy stuff behind your back under your business name. Like, my business name is Touched Apparel. It's about touching lives. And y'all are really touching me in a way that I don't like right now. You know what I mean? Like, it was very detrimental to me. But it taught me very much so that, like, why not me? You know? And as I recalibrated, I fully understood, like, I don't care how many losses I take. Like, don't ever count me out.
Absolutely.
You know? And I can use that as a stepping stone. But I'm not gonna lie. It almost took me. Like, I was out of here, you know, like in all the ways. You know what I'm saying? And
is that when your journey began? Like your healing journey?
On which life?
But this last
life?
one.
Definitely. I do feel like it took me through a totally different cycle. Yeah, that was a different level of healing. You know? I had already been doing different levels of healing work and breaking generational curses. I have an amazing relationship with my daughter that I didn't have with my mom growing up. My mom and I have it now, but that took me doing the work with my daughter and then having to look at my mom like,
you got work to do, Mom.
Like, hey, you see, I'm a mother. I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? And my daughter she's such an amazing individual. Not just because she's mine, but if I was to meet her on the street, I'd be like, man, like,
that's awesome.
You know, like, you're a pretty dope person. Right? And I was a teen mom. So, you know, I think any mom, you just want to know as your child gets older that, like, they're okay.
Right.
And I love the mindset that, and that's your testimony. That was your test that birthed the testimony. And I love the fact that you took that, and even though you went through what you went through, you took that and said, I know that God took me through that because what he has coming is going to require me to be prepared and have my head on the swivel and have all my boxes checked.
Yeah.
So when I get to that next opportunity, I'm going to have everything in line that I need, and that's going to be successful. So I'd rather go through that now. It almost broke me, but it didn't break me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's the blessing in it.
Oh, but I was looking like a pretzel though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was looking real distorted. I was. I can't even flex like I wasn't. I was.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish it on. I don't even have any enemies. Not that I know of. If I do, it's a personal problem. But I wouldn't wish it on nobody.
But you made it through.
Yeah.
You made it through. So tell us, how did Too Dope to Bully come about?
Man. So what was interesting, you know, brands take shape as they grow, right? You see Nike go from Nike to the swoosh, right? I came up with Touched Apparel, but for a while, Touched Apparel and Jersey Moulin was kind of one brand, which was like weird. Now that I think about it, I'm like, you were so premature. But
So Touched Apparel was your first baby.
Jersey Moulin was
Jersey
my first
Moulin.
baby.
Okay.
But I was out here, you know what I'm saying, doing community service, clothing drives, all the things. And I was like, man, I'm touching lives, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, Touched Apparel, right?
So, yeah.
Boom. Well, I was living in, I'm sorry, I'm touching my mic. I was living in North Carolina. I lived in North Carolina for about 6 months back in 2013. Back in 2013, I lived in North Carolina for 6 months, and it was 4th of July weekend, and I couldn't sleep. I woke up at like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I was just sitting there in the dark, me and God. And he was like, Too Dope to Bully. I was like, Too
Don't you
dope.
just like how it come to
I
you
was
like
like,
that?
Too Dope to Bully, right? Because there was a situation that occurred with my nephew, and he stood up for a girl who was being bullied. And I asked him, I was like, what do they do for y'all in school regarding bullying? You know, and he was like, they have like a little program, make us sign a paper, but they don't really enforce it. And I'm like, man, you know, because I'm telling him, I'm like, what you did was so dope. You know, that was so brave. And then literally, I'm sitting in the house at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was like, Too Dope to Bully. And I was like,
Thank you, Lord.
another one. We got it. You know what I mean? Like it hit me. And so that's literally how it came to be. At the time where I was working, I was cool with this dude named Gavin. And Gavin created the logo for me. I was like, Gavin, I want it to look like the Run DMC logo.
Oh, yeah, it does.
He was like, you're not going to be able to get that copyright. I was like, I mean, trademark. I was like, I'm going to be able to get it trademarked. Because if you know anything about the Run DMC logo, a lot of people create their logos to look like that, and a lot of people have been denied their trademark because it represents that. I just want to say that I wasn't denied my trademark. So
Let's go.
you understand? So everything is as it should be always. That's how I look at it, and that's how we came up with it. I say we because it's like, you know, me and God, but that's how I came up with it.
That's dope. That's dope. I remember seeing it on social media years ago, and I was like, that is super dope.
Thank you.
We got T-shirts. We got
Yeah, we
T-shirts.
did.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta get some. Well, I just took the website down, but
You did.
Thank
I remember when you
I
ordered them
appreciate
shirts
the
and they
support.
came in, and I was like, well, baby, when did you order
when did you order these? And y'all probably got the shirts that say Touched Apparel on the back of them.
I think so.
remember.
Yeah.
So when they first dropped, so you know, I was
It's
new.
been a while.
But I do remember the logo. Would you?
Yeah, the logo's still the same,
yeah.
but Touched Apparel, the company name was on the back of
Okay.
it. I was new to screen printing, all the things, right? So
Yeah.
of course you look at the tag said Gildan, you know, and I just put Touched Apparel on the back, the logo on the front. And then of course as we grew, now the Touched Apparel's on the inside.
Yeah.
But people was buying them, you know.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I appreciate the support.
No problem.
Y'all are dope.
No
for that.
problem.
Absolutely.
No
I wouldn't
problem.
even know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't
It's like I
even
got the book.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So tell us about the book.
Which one? Broken Hill.
Yeah, Broken Hill shit. That's let me just tell you how I read that
Hold
book
on.
in
Is-
one day.
Was that
It's an
and you
easy
listen-
read.
It is,
It's
but
easy
I
read.
finished it.
You finished it, but then you do an audio something as well? Or was the book? I remember you calling me. I remember her calling me
No, I
after she.
listened to it too.
Yeah,
The
okay.
audio.
I read it
I was getting
first.
ready to say. She
then I
called me.
listened
She
to
was
it.
like, "Baby,
Aw.
she was so excited. She was like,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
so
dope.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the thing is, I got that book when I was going through my healing,
Yeah,
and it gave me all the feels. Just so you know,
yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, I love it.
It did what it was
Yeah,
designed
it did
to
what
do.
it
I
was
remember
supposed
you.
to do.
I remember you calling me like, "Baby, I just got finished listening to this book. It's so good."
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
did.
Thank you.
And for a minute during that time, I would listen to it on the audio, just randomly. I'll put it on because it will always give me what I needed in that moment. So thank you for that.
No, thank you.
Yes, thank you for
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. That
So-
feels good.
Yeah, you get your flowers.
Thank you.
You get your flowers.
Yeah, you know, you do something and then you do it because you're led to you're led to do it, right? So it's like when I dropped it, it sold out. I dropped it again, it sold out. I dropped it again, it sold out. You know what I mean? So I'm like, God, I thank you. And people have told me like it's a forever thing. And I've contemplated bringing it back in different ways, but
It's dope.
Yeah.
It's super
You
dope.
should.
I'm navigating some things myself. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like that. Thank you. That feels good. Y'all
So,
dope.
what has healing taught you in regards to having grace for yourself and for others?
So before grace was like a popular phrase,
Yeah, it is.
it's very, which is understood. Therapy is a thing. So I respect it for what it is. I was giving grace to myself, not even realizing I was giving grace to myself. And before grace, it was forgiveness, right? So I just tell myself it's okay. And I've always, interestingly enough, I've always had the innate ability since I was a young girl. Always just kind of a bit ahead of my time, you know? And my new saying now is I don't ever be wrong about people, I just be early.
I like that.
And I had to
that.
and it's teaching me to stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. It's teaching me to be like, you know what, God gave me the spirit of discernment for a reason. So let me not act like I don't value these gifts, you know?
That's the hardest thing when you
Yeah.
got discouragement.
Yeah.
And you just try to tell yourself, all right, Clay. I'd be like, all right, Clay. I know your spirit act, because your spirit will literally act like give you something in your spirit when you're around the atmosphere you ain't supposed to be around. You know what I mean?
It's
And you-
uncomfortable.
it very.
It is very.
Very.
I feel it's crazy because I feel like I'm about to jump out my skin.
That's how I be feeling.
That's literally what it, and it's interesting because I've been in spaces where like I'm so uncomfortable, I'll start shaking, and so I have to be like, I have to like hold on because and then I at this stage like I start getting anxiety. I'd be like, all right, it's time to go. Or like if I feel something is off, I start to get anxiety. I'd be like, yeah, nah, it's time to go. You know what? I'm gonna go over here. Or like, and sometimes I just need to move out of the space. I can still be at the event, the venue, but I need to move out of that space. I need to move around because whatever is happening over here. And I also learned too spiritually, like, I don't want nothing to jump on me.
Come on.
There you go.
You know,
There you
I
go.
don't want anything to jump on me. I don't want it to touch me. You know, so I have moments where like people will meet me, and I'm a hugger, and somebody will want to hug me, and I like
The worst.
and it's
Don't put it on me.
yeah, but the thing is, this is because, you know, when you already have such like welcoming energy, you know, you learn, like I've learned to shut it off. Like I've learned, like if I go into a space and immediately if I feel it, I just like, nice to meet you. I do it just like that. I'll be like, nice to meet you, right? But if, you know, if I'm feeling like it's even, I'll be like, hey, you see the difference?
Yeah.
Like, hey, but like, nice to meet you. I'm down. That means, hey, right? So, I mean, so now when y'all see me, y'all gonna be like, Jersey ain't fucking with me.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Me and my barber just had, I'm not gonna say my barber name, but I'm not gonna say what atmosphere she was in. But my barber, we just had this conversation today when she was cutting my hair. she told me that because I was asking her what happened to her locks because she had just put them back in. I was like, what happened to your locks? She was like, I was in the atmosphere that I didn't want to be in. She said as soon as I left that atmosphere, the next day I woke up and cut them boys back off.
Yeah.
She was like, I had to get that up off
It holds
me.
energy.
Yeah, she was like, I had to get it up off me. And I was like, that's a real thing.
It is. Oh no, it is.
It is.
A real thing.
And it just
really
stay
is.
on you too. It just stays there.
Yeah. It
And
does.
get some sage and stuff.
It does. And it doesn't feel good. You can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Ooh, your spirit won't rest until you. Because I don't drink and I don't smoke.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
drink.
Look at
I
you,
don't smoke.
superhero.
No, I don't even. It's not even that.
Come on, superhero.
So I don't drink and I don't smoke. And a lot of people be super surprised, but I'm always in atmospheres to where because I'm never gonna push what I don't do
That's your
on
choice.
anybody.
Yeah,
but I've been blessed enough to be around people who don't force me or who don't try to peer pressure. Like, all right, Clay, come have a drink, come smoke. You know what I mean? So I'm blessed to have that in my life. You know what I mean? So those type of energy.
Lame. No, I'm just.
I am.
Meanwhile, over here on the ranch.
No, I'm joking, but that's
people
how
look at you.
it is. People be like, you lame.
Yeah.
You be like,
Man,
how old are we? Like, what do you mean?
Like you don't drink.
I'm the
I
type
have autonomy. Like, what do you mean?
people look at me and just think I be turning up and shit like that. I'm the person I'm the nigga that's gonna be in the corner praying for you if you tell me you're dealing with some.
Make sure you leave up out of here. Make sure you leave up out of here safely.
Yes.
baby.
There's nothing wrong with
That's how
that.
she is.
I'm a nigga that's gonna be in
Yeah.
the corner. You tell me you dealing with something. I'm be like, can I pray for you real quick?
Oh,
You know, that's
I love
like,
that.
yeah,
I love
that's
that.
me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
That's what's
That's
up.
her.
shit, call it
That's
lame if you want to, man.
That's her.
No, but that's
But
how people
look
like,
at you,
lame.
though.
You be like,
You know what I mean? Shit,
So when you see us out and we're there past 10 o'clock, be shocked.
don't do it, baby.
Be shocked because
you be outside.
I be outside.
And I be outside with her. You know what I'm saying? I be outside with my
Compromise.
baby.
She compromised.
She want to smoke hookah. She want to sit at the bar, have a drink. I'm right there. I don't discourage her. Like, if she want to go out, I still got to date my wife. Yeah.
That's her thing.
Yeah.
Not Jersey. Now, she got to do my thing, too.
What's your thing?
My thing is get her ass up on Sunday morning and go to church with me.
Oh, you gotta
I shouldn't
go
be
to
sitting in no
church.
goddamn pew by myself every Sunday.
Amen. You gotta go to church.
Every Sunday.
See, now that's a whole.
I just want y'all to know
a whole
at the
nother
end of this
topic.
episode, when they get in the car, they gonna be arguing because this Taurus is not trying to hear it. You ain't have the time. Go to church. You in trouble.
You know we keep it a buck.
You
we
in
keep,
trouble
we
when
keep
you
it a
leave
buck
out
all
this
day,
way.
every day.
I mean,
Why
you
not
know.
going?
Well,
She had different,
I have my different beliefs.
And I would say no pressure at the same.
but she still
Right.
pray.
What are your beliefs?
I just believe in a higher power. So it's not that I don't really believe in God. It's just that I believe in a higher power. I believe that there's, I wouldn't say that I just pray. Like I manifest. I do all of those things, you know. And my baby didn't understand that in the beginning. She was like, "You don't believe in God?" I didn't say that I did not believe in Him per se.
I'm learning to stop saying him, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
be completely honest.
For sure,
It's
for
not
sure.
a.
Yeah.
I just
I
believe
mean,
in a higher being.
I believe God is a woman. Honestly, if you look around,
Yeah.
I don't-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm learning how to not say him, and that's been taking like 5 years. So you heard me
Yeah, 'cause
just it's so embedded.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you
know?
go.
So
There
Yeah.
you go. But I believe though that for me is anytime that I go, even if you don't believe in God, I feel like it's a motivational, like it's a spiritual feeding. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like
So I was about to ask you, where do you get your feeding from?
My wife.
Gotcha.
Honestly, I
want to challenge you because I believe in everything that you believe in. My spiritual practice is actually E5.
Okay.
So that has nothing to do with Christianity in hindsight.
Yeah.
Right. But you can learn something from everything. And when you when you go into spaces without judgment, you allow yourself to be open to whatever's being said.
Right.
And I've always told myself, if I go into a space and I hear something I don't like, I have to check myself.
Yeah.
I have to check myself. Even if I don't agree, that wasn't for me.
Right.
So I don't have to agree.
Right.
But whatever's for me is going to touch me. Right.
Yeah.
So I want to challenge you to go. Because she'll have to do half the work and then it'll allow both of y'all to do the work together. Because she's only feeding you what she's getting. on Sunday.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So everything you believe in, I believe in.
Yeah.
Manifestation, all the things,
Yeah.
you know. And when you talk about manifestation, I'm so deep in where I'm like, wash your hands. Don't even touch me if you don't wash your hands. You know what I mean? Like, I be like, we be in the house, I be like, you wash your hands? You know, like she believing for some things right now. I'm like, did you wash your hands? You know what I'm, you know, like
Yeah.
It's powerful when y'all believe together. You know what
I mean,
I'm saying?
I'm a spiritual person.
Very, very much so.
spiritual.
but it ties to everything.
Yeah.
It really like
Elevates you.
it spirituality, belief in God, belief in the universe, belief in source, belief in Olodumare, belief in Jehovah Jireh, right? Belief in Jah, belief in all the things. It's all the same because it's all rooted in love.
Yeah.
It's all rooted in love.
I'm saying
Yeah.
right there.
The teachings of God is rooted in love. So if you're moving in love, how are you being filled? Because if she was to leave tomorrow, who's filling you?
Yeah.
So you have to find your reservoir.
And she pours into a lot of people on a daily basis. A lot of people on a daily basis. So she has to have her cup filled.
Yeah.
And that's how I get my cup filled. You know what I mean?
And if that's not for you, you know who I listen to? Why am I drawing a blank? Last name Roberts.
Jakes. Sarah Jakes.
Sarah.
Yes.
You would
Yes,
like her.
you would.
Would like her because she is, and I've been listening to her for years, but she's so necessary for today's
It
woman.
is. Yes.
She's so real. She's so authentic. She's so transparent. And she is a reminder of God's grace on all levels. People assume because that is TD Jake's daughter that no, that woman's backstory is so far from grace. You understand? Like so far from grace.
Teenage mom.
Yeah.
15.
Send it to me.
Yeah.
Send it to me.
Yeah.
'Cause that's my story.
You would love Sarah Jakes. There she goes. Sarah Jakes Roberts. You would love her. So even if you don't go to church, get up and listen to Sarah Jakes Roberts. She's powerful.
Dope.
I try to lead a lot of women to her.
Yeah.
I do. I love her teachings. You know, I don't idolize her and you know,
Fact.
not
Yeah.
to idolize
Fact.
anything, but I do love her teachings. Her teachings are so powerful,
Yes.
so easy.
And she
to
keep
digest.
it real. She
Yes.
pull that wig off on.
Yes.
She'll pull that wig.
Yeah.
And keep it
Her
moving.
wig was sliding. She was like, "Oh, the devil trying to stop." I was like,
I think I saw that one because I
and they
remember.
started shouting louder.
Yeah, she keep it a buck. So
Yeah.
Jersey, tell
Yes,
the
yes.
people what you got coming up and tell them where they can find you on all social media platforms.
So right now, you guys can find me on Instagram, Jersey Moulin. You can find me on TikTok, J Moulin Home, Facebook, Jersey Moulin. There's so many social media platforms, but the only one different is TikTok, which is J Moulin Home. Right now, honestly, I don't have anything coming up, and I am okay with it.
Yes. Yes.
You can follow me though on Instagram. I am hosting a party on the 29th. I don't know if I should give a date because I don't know when y'all dropping this episode, but I am about to host a party coming up because I'm still hosting here and there.
Yep.
But nothing.
We'll be at that party.
we will.
All right.
My wife already told me.
I'll be there in that all white, but nothing. So if you just keep up with me on my Instagram channel, which is my J Moulin Home channel, on my TikTok, you know.
Very inspiring page,
Yes,
by the way.
very.
Inspiring
Thank you,
page,
thank you.
y'all.
I'm just dropping little home jewels in there. You
Yeah.
know, I got a little garden, all the things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, it was such a pleasure having
it
you.
was.
Long overdue.
Thank
We are
you.
so honored to have you. You're doing amazing,
Thank
amazing work, and you touching everybody in the community,
you.
and we appreciate it. It's much needed.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
I mean, because
Much
we see
needed.
you out, and when we see you out, the energy is always so good.
Oh.
But to have you in this setting, to like really get
Sit
to know you
down
on
and know
on
you.
another level,
Yeah. It's a
was
blessing.
amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
It
you.
was.
I take that.
Yeah,
I
we
do.
appreciate
It's greatly appreciated because people be acting like they'll be. Yeah, y'all be surprised.
Yeah.
No, for real. People be like, Jersey, I saw you, but I'll be like, just come speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't,
yeah.
you know, I don't. I
It's
never
always good
know.
energy.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
much
you.
so. We appreciate having. Well,
Tell my
y'all,
mama that.
that's our time. We appreciate y'all tuning in to the Mold and Clay podcast. Y'all know our motto: keep God and love first in everything you do, and He'll elevate your path like no other. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
No, can't what I saw. What you see? As I win, not a draw. That's the lead. If the fam ain't up to, that's a flaw. And you might have to take a